Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of the Clueless Fisherman, where we are going to be doing everything fly tying. I'm no expert on it, but I am doing my darndest to tie flies and catch fish. I may not even know how to tie a fly properly, but hey, this is all about those people just trying to get into fly tying. I try to teach you a few things that I've learned about fly tying from some great people, pass on some tips and techniques that I've learned along the way. I'm going to show you the supplies that I use. We're going to be tying flies from trout to steelhead to salmon. We might even get to some saltwater stuff later as I start to learn that as well. My name is Jeff. I'll be tying the flies, and hopefully along the way we get some guest fly tyers to join us. So we have some people in mind for that. But for now, let's get started with episode 1. So we're going to tie a copper john. We're going to do a little bit of a different pattern than what we got here. So things that you are going to need: some goose biot, if you can see it there, some white, and some brown is what I'm going to use. Size 12 hooks, peacock herl, look how shiny that is, hello. 7/64 beads, you won't be able to see that, but that's it, tiny little thing right there. Ultra wire, medium copper. Okay, so that's that there. As you can see, nice copper color, gives it the name Copper John. 70 Ultra Thread Black for this there, so that's what I'll be using as the thread. So for those of you that are brand new to fly tying, this right here is called your bobbin. Put your your thread on there, nice and loose, have a nice tail tag in there. What we're going to do is use your bobbin threader. It's this thing here. I always wonder what it was when I first started tying. But anyways, that goes in the hole here, like so, right? And then you can feed your line in just like that. So if you notice, it's now gone through there, okay? And then you just pull the bobbin threader through. Make sure it's not tangled up like it is right now. So there you go, thread through the bobbin there. You can see that, perfect. Our bead on the end, chosen a gold one, which I just dropped and lost. Fantastic. This is a thing about these little tiny beads. Someone tell me a method to get this going better. Alright, so we're going to thread that onto the hook. So you slide it on, set it up at the top there. I'm going to put this into our vise. First, we're going to take some thread. We're just going to run it down a little bit of the shank of this hook here. So again, this is a small fly. You don't need to do tons of stuff with it. Just cut off that tag in there. Super simple design. So what I'm going to do is take the goose biot right there. Okay. What you want to do is pull from the bottom. Okay, so the goose biot looks like this. Okay, when you spread it out, you want to take 2 of these last pieces down here. You want to rip anywhere. You want to save as much of this as you can. Okay, and there's a natural curve to the biot. So if you can see, it curves down. It's typically how I like to put it in. So you can figure out how you want to do it. But so you want to take the length of your shaft there, and then that's where you want to put it back, just over top of it. So we're just going to tie that in there. Okay, so this is where you just kind of want to make sure it's spread out nice and good. Okay, and then thread it all the way up. Try to get it nice and tight on there. Okay, so now we got, if you can see there, 2 little separate biots there. Give a little split in it. We can cut off this last little bit of, some guys will fold it back in on itself. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to. Next thing we're going to do is take our copper. Typically you want to use a different pair of scissors or something for this. You don't want to use your good pair of scissors to do this. So taking off a little piece there. You don't need too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this up the shaft. Just tuck it in underneath the bead there. Okay. And I'm going to wrap it back on itself like that. All the way to the back. Okay. And you want to wrap it back up forward. So now you got a good base on your fly there. Okay, to build up this copper. So what you're going to do now is just spin this, and you want it to be nice and tight. Okay, so the tighter you can get it going all the way up, the nicer it's going to look. The nice thing about this copper as well is that'll add some weight to your fly to help it sink. So when you're nymphing this, some guys will troll this behind their boat as well with a fly line, sinking fly line if you're lake fishing. I've also used this under an indicator on a lake and on a river, and you can also strip this tiny little thing. So I'm going to tie it all the way up to the front. This is where the fat Polish fingers don't help. Sausage fingers. Okay, so you want it to look nice and tidy. Let's flatten that out there. Okay, I'm going to tie it back in. So just be careful with your thread here on this. You want to make sure you don't snap off your thread on a sharp point there. Next thing, we're going to tie in the white biot. Give it a little contrast, almost like a wing casing or a wing coming out. Is kind of what I've been told is all about. There again, you have the biot right there. So same thing, these ones have a natural curve to them as well, like we showed. So it's pointing down. That's how I'm going to put it in. An X right there when you put it down, because you want the wings to be split like that. On there, and tie those in. Just do one loose wrap and then figure out how you want these wings to split up on the body. Okay, so you can see there, the wings are split two different ways. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this little tag part, I'm going to fold it back and just tie backwards on that to lock that in place. Alright. Clip off these little tag ends here. There you go. So that's that. Okay. Spread those out so they lay flat. And then finally, I'm probably doing this all in the wrong order. But what you want to do is, I usually take two nice strands of the peacock herl. It's right there. It's just a standard non-dyed peacock herl. And then I'm going to tie it in back. So the strand's going backwards. So a few wraps around this way. Gonna lift this up again, so that's coming back this way. Locks it in place. Okay, snip off those little ends. And then what you're gonna do is take your peacock, you're gonna wrap it a few times around until you get a nice thorax body part thing. Till it looks comfortable. Tie it back in, clip off that end piece. Save those little bits for later. Get a good few wraps on the end there. Okay, and then you're going to use your finishing tool. So this little baby here will help you tie a knot. So what you do is you take this end right here. Okay, you put it underneath there. So it's stuck out like this. You're gonna put it around there, and you're gonna try to form a cross like that. So this is behind here. That knot goes over top, pulling out with this hand over here. Pull it around, and you're just gonna whip it around a couple times. Okay, let some slack out. Pull it out that way. Draw it close. There you go. If you're extra nervous about it, you can always use a little glue. So yeah, there's the, oh, shit, lost it again. So there's a little copper john there. You can see all around there. Ain't perfect, but it'll catch fish, I'll tell you that much. Some guys will do it without the, you don't have to use, you don't have to use the goose by it. But the herl is always a nice touch to have. I see some thread hanging off there. But yeah, that's a simple nymph type fly that you can use to catch trout in a river or in a lake. So there you go. Let me know if you have any questions. We are happy, I am happy, to help answer them. And if you have some feedback, let us know. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace out, homies.